So finally, we get the logistics and the revenue of this Canoli and Dazn deal. And apparently, the man Canoli is going to be making a good $365 million guaranteed over a 10-year span for 10 fights. And that's on DAZN, ladies and gents. The new streaming app that started in September, who have signed actually the biggest acquisition they can in boxing. You know what I mean? This is the most lucrative deal actually in sports. You know what I mean? You know, the entire package, like I said, is worth a guaranteed $365 million. You know what I mean? Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya called it the highest paid guaranteed contract in sports history. Could you believe that? A boxer getting the highest paid contract in sports history. You know, it's good for Canelo, you know what I mean? The man's making a good chunk of money. Now we got to see what kind of fights he has in these 10 fights, you know what I mean? So as part of the new deal, Golden Boy is guaranteed 10 shows a year on the zone, and that's starting in 2019. And this is coming off HBO shutting down shop for 2019, 2018. They're not going to be in the business no more starting next year. So um, Canelo and them had to find a home. And the reason I thought about it after I did my video yesterday. Congratulations, you played yourself. And I had suggested that Canoli and them they should have gone with ESPN. Like I said yesterday on my video, ESPN Golden Boy still has cards on ESPN. You know what I mean? They still have a deal. Matter of fact, they do have a card tonight. I know it's Scott Quigley. I can't remember who else he's fighting. You know what I mean? But I suggested that, man, it would have been even better if he went on ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports. Almost every household in the United States has ESPN, and also, internationally, there's people who do have ESPN. Whether it's a ESPN UK or some sort of form of ESPN. You know what I mean? But when I got to really think about it, the deal with Top Rank and ESPN, that's strictly a top rank deal, and it's like Bob Arum is actually going to control any boxing aspect that comes over there to or wants to pair up or wants to work with ESPN. They got to go through Bob Arum, and I'm pretty sure that the man De La Hoya wasn't feeling that. He wasn't trying to do that. You know what I mean? You see, even Frank Warren, I made a video like 2 3 weeks ago. They've signed a kind of deal with ESPN, and but they have to go through Top Rank. You know what I mean? Now Canelo, 28 years old, the biggest draw in boxing. This guy's it's gonna be interesting to see how the Mexican fan base will have to how they'll watch Canoli. You know what I mean? Real talk. Cinco de Mayo, Mexican Independence Day. Canoli in Hispanic households, it's an event. You know what I'm saying? It's something like families do on Thanksgiving, eat food and watch football. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe on Christmas. I know at least in my household that is on Christmas. Or you cook food, eat food, a lot of food, and watch basketball. I watch basketball, NBA on Christmas from like midday till midnight. You know what I mean? Same with the NFL on Thanksgiving. You check it. That's just like tradition. Now, for the Hispanic households, it's tradition to watch cannoli on these um, Mexican dates, Cinco de Mayo and the Independence Day. Now, we'll see how, I'm pretty sure when they hear that they ain't got to pay no 75 $85 for pay-per-view, that'll, they'll be pleased about that. You know what I'm saying? But how many people are willing to go through the app, to watch his fights, you know what I mean? How about all those people that do go out, whether it's the Buffalo Wild Wings, go to their local bar, you know what I'm saying? I know there's a Hispanic bar not too far from where I'm at that, you know, they don't show all the fights, but when Canoli fights pay-per-view, it be jam-packed out there, you know what I'm saying? You could see all the cars parked out there. How's that going to fare for these people who have who do go out to watch these fights, you know what I mean? are they going to be tuning into the app? They going to purchase the zone. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody likes the idea of having to watch these sports on their phone. You know what I'm saying, or on the tablet. You know what I mean? I know I'm not. I'm old fashioned. I like to watch my boxing on my TV. You know what I'm saying? If when desperate measures come, say like if I'm not in the house, like I remember when Triple G versus Kell Brook, I wasn't home. I was at a baby shower. Guess what I did? I put it on my smartphone, and a lot of people are gathered around my smartphone to watch Triple G versus Kell Brook. Now, you know, ain't nobody trying to have a fight party when they watching a fight on the motherfucking smartphone or iPhone or your Android or put it on a tablet or iPad. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be crazy, you know what I mean? And I think, with Triple G, I'm sorry, Canoli being on the zone, who's there to fight? You know what I'm saying? Jamal Charlo is on Showtime, PBC Showtime. You know what I mean? Triple G doesn't have a home as of yet. Danny Jacobs is on gonna have his last fight on HBO. More than likely, he'll probably get with the zone since he is promoted by Matchroom. You know what I'm saying? So that's a fight that can be made. Demetrius Andrade's over there on the zone, so possibly that could be made too. You know what I'm saying? If Canoli's willing to get in the ring with a slick boxer, you know what I'm saying? Which is almost an anomaly when you go ahead and look at the man Canelo's resume. Despite apart from Lara and Floyd, you know what I'm saying? And maybe Austin Trot to a certain extent, you know what I mean? But typically those are not the type of styles that he does fight, you know what I mean? But with the man Canoli signing this massive deal, time will tell, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, preferably, I'd like to see Canelo get with ESPN, you know what I mean? That's what Bud Crawford is, Lomachenko. But then I could understand why the man De La Hoya didn't sign with ESPN because he'd have to go through Bob Arum. He'd have to be under Bob Arum, and I'm not no, he's not feeling that. You know what I mean? So this deal, as you heard, I haven't said nothing about Eddie Hearn. This deal got nothing to do with Eddie Hearn. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is, the man Canoli, he actually could have fought. In my opinion, why not go for the gusto? You fighting Rocky Feldon, a guy who has lost to Callum Smith. Why not fight Callum Smith, the real WBA super middleweight super champion? You know what I'm saying? Not Rocky Feldon, who has a kind of minor league belt. And that's what I call those. I don't give a fuck if it's the world belt at super middleweight, the regular. It's minor league because there's actually a champion. You know what I'm saying? There's actually a champion at 168 with the WBA, and he beat the champion George Gross fair and square. You know what I mean? So that's the minor league. I don't consider those world titles. You know what I mean? You're not gonna come and tell me Canoli's gonna win if he beats Rocky Feldon. He's a champion at 168. You know what I mean? So we shall find out. We'll see what's really good. But Canoli, hey man, congratulations to you. You're gonna make that guap, man. You know what I'm saying? But I fear for all the people who will not be able to view Canoli on this DAZN app because they've never heard of it. Because you know people are not gonna don't wanna adjust to watching these fights on a freaking app. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in my previous video, I got nothing against DAZN. I'm not one of these nut ass channels out here who try to boycott promoters and just for the sake of saying, "Oh, I'm taking a stand." Oh, no, no, fuck that shit. I'm a boxing fan, my dude. I'm going to watch boxing on C-SPAN, on Disney Channel, the cooking channel with Rachel Ray. I don't give a fuck. Nickelodeon, don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is, a lot of people not going to be able to view these fights just off the strength that it's not going to be on their local TV you know what I mean, TV band, whether it's on cable, ESPN, whether it's Showtime. I would have liked to see Canelo even get with Showtime. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Or even get your own separate deal with Fox. You know what I'm saying? Like, the zone is relatively new out here. I mean, just go look at their YouTube channel and also their Twitter and these type of social media handles they have. They don't got many subscribers. And and YouTube, the zone channel is free. So imagine all the people who don't have the real DAZN app, because look at the numbers they have on their DAZN YouTube channel. It's not staggering, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think they got 20,000. Last I checked, I subscribed to them the week AJ fought Povetkin, and they had like 300 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? EJ Boxing Live, what's happening, big man? He says Oscar loading to push Eddie Hearn out. Whoa, I ain't think of it like that. That's a possibility. That's a possibility because Canoli's the biggest star in boxing in the United States. Anthony Joshua's the biggest star in boxing in the UK. He's fighting on the app. Nobody watched that shit. And maybe the zone is, you know, looking for another competitor to bring they app to, try to bring it to the forefront. Yeah, that's a possibility. You know what I mean? Maybe, with Canoli making this 365 guaranteed for the next 5 years for 10 fights, um, that's just a little short. It's short of Eddie Hearn's $1 billion deal for 8 years. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Canoli will make more revenue. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's from I don't know what kind of incentives they are, kind of back end pay, guaranteed money. You know, whenever he fights. You know what I mean? But I'm sure this $365 million deal is probably not going to be including his revenue from merchandise and or sales, you know what I mean? From the gate. So yeah, that's a possibility, man. Um Spartacus the Great. What's happening, Spartacus? He says Oscar and Eddie are working together. Okay. Um EJ Boxer Live says it's been going it's been going up now, bro. I gotta look. I gotta look at the zone's YouTube subscribers. EJ Boxer Live says more fighters will be going over there now. Yeah, I mean, hey, if they seen this kind of guap Canoli getting, you know what I'm saying? I'm not them type of dudes to be talking about, oh, Canoli when he got the bag. He got the bag. Like Canoli's about to get paid in a fucking in a bag. Like some more Uncle Scrooge type shit, man. Duck no. Fellas ain't getting a bag, man. He probably gonna get money transferred to his bank account. Ain't nobody walking around with a bag of $365 million. So once he gets that guap, a lot of fighters gonna be trying to come over there. I can see that now. You know what I mean? This is a big play by DAZN. AD says DAZN got the biggest two stars in boxing in Joshua and Canelo. Facts. Joshua ain't no star over here. He's a big star in the UK. You know what I mean? No question about it. But he's definitely not over here. So when you say DAZN got the biggest two stars in boxing, yeah, on opposite sides of the pond, you know what I mean? But over here in the United States, where the zone is applicable, it's not over there in the UK. Joshua don't box on the zone, so yeah, he ain't a star over here. So the zone don't got the two biggest stars in the United States. You know what I mean? Because Canelo's a star, Joshua isn't over here. You know what I mean? And in the UK, like I said, he don't fight on the zone. He's a sky box office guy. Um, EJ Boxer Last says to get that dough. Spartacus the Great says Joshua is nobody in America. Facts. He's not. AD. And when GGG, Porter, and Loma join the zone, which is imminent, game over. Come on, AD. Come on. How you figure Lomachenko's gonna go to the zone? Lomachenko is established at ESPN with Bob Arum Only way he goes to the zone is if his contract ends with Bob Arum and with Top Rank, and he's a free agent. And Porter, if he comes over there, big deal. Nobody, no, he's not a draw. He's not. Triple G, if he goes over there, that'll be good for him. Out of those guys you mentioned, GGG, Porter, and Loma, yes, Porter and GGG, there's a possibility they could go over there, not Lomachenko. And between GGG and Porter, GGG is more of a draw than Porter is. AD says Tank will want a piece of the zone money and a farmer fight. Man, Tank don't want to fight nobody. Yeah, he might want some of that guap for fucking with the zone, but he don't want to fight nobody. Come on, man. Come on, man. This guy's a fake ass champion. I heard son was trying to diss the man Terrence Crawford, man. That guy is you see, this is why I've always was skeptical on the guy. You know what I mean? I was always skeptical on him since I've been seeing him fighting live before he was a world champion. I never believed in the kid. I'm sorry, I never did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the guy ain't even fighting. He's not even a real world champion. He beat Jesus Cuela for a regular champion. It's just the WBA. They elevated him to the real champion and demoted the real champion in Alba Machado, who beat Jesús Corrales. They demoted him. I don't know what part of the game is that, but the man Jesús Corrales, I'm sorry, Alba Machado should have been taking the WBA to litigation and sued their ass, man. Are you kidding me? Why? Because Tank is quote unquote more popular? Man, the man don't even want to fight the man Tevin Farmer. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to fight Lomachenko. Guess who Lomachenko's fighting? Pedraza. Pedraza's the guy that the man Tank Davis fought first. You know what I mean? Something is wrong with that picture right there. EJ Boxer Live says, that's a lot of money, bro. AB and Tank. Well, we already know AB said, fuck that shit. He ain't going over there, remember? And last I heard, I don't remember if I made a video about this. Last I heard, Adrian Broner signed a multi-fight deal with Mayweather Promotions. Yeah. Excuse me. So, yeah, and Tank, if he wants to go over there, he's going to have to get out of his contract with Mayweather Promotions. Anthony Purvis was good, son. He says was good, B. Marsh. Only cat walking around with a bag. With a bag. Oh, man. Anthony Purvis said only cat walking around with a bag is Charlo and his man purse. Ah, shit. Shots fired. You ain't never lied. He's the only one walking around with his purse. And he ain't even man enough to keep his jewels, his shines on his neck. I think he ain't want to put his shines on his neck and he kept them in his man purse because he was talking about he's the king of New York. He's the king of Brooklyn. On that particular night, he got robbed at the club by these fat white women. Now, why would he have his shines in his purse? Because niggas gonna test his gangster. You talking all that, you're the king of Brooklyn, king of New York. You draped up, you got all kind of shines on your neck. So he said, you know what? Better yet, I'm not even going to tuck them under my shirt. I'm going to put them in my man purse. What's the point of even walking out the crib with 40 grand worth of shines? You know what I mean? So that's for a whole nother video. But that was a nice punchline, AP. Give thanks. I like that one. AD says Joshua's massive in Europe, Africa, Asia, New Zealand, Russia, and Ukraine. AD, if he is, why doesn't he fight in those markets so we can see how actually popular he is? We only know how popular he is in the UK, and that's as far as we can go, you know what I mean? There's no statistics or if you can prove or show, any statistics, any numbers, you know what I mean, of what kind of numbers he does in Europe, Africa, Asia, New Zealand, Russia, and Ukraine. And I'm not saying that he's not, you know what I mean? But if he is, he should fight in these markets, as a global world champion, a la Muhammad Ali, you know what I'm saying? You remember Deontay Wilder's fought in the UK. He sparked out Audley Harrison over there. Remember Deontay Wilder was about to go to Russia. He was training over there in Sheffield, was about to go to Russia. He heard the news Povetkin got popped dirty for a bad substance, and guess what? He came back to the United States. You know what I mean? So he's a world champion, like Muhammad Ali, who's willing to test the market outside of his, his comfort zone, the United States. You know what I mean? So, if Anthony Joshua is a massive star in Europe, Africa, Asia, New Zealand, Russia, and Ukraine, he should go fight in these places. You know what I mean? And I'd be willing to bet that in those countries you mentioned, Africa, Europe, Asia, New Zealand, Russia, and Ukraine, they know who Wilder is too. And all I can do is, hey, all I could say is go look at YouTube channels over here on YouTube, boxing channels, especially the ones who hate and they diss the man Wilder and are negative towards Wilder. They talk about Wilder every day. You know what I'm saying? They talk about, and they have a video about Deontay Wilder every day. So that's only boosting his popularity, truth be told. You know what I'm saying? It's only boosting his popularity, love him or hate him. But when you talk about Wilder every day, it's obvious that he is popular to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? How popular? That's just gauging from YouTube numbers. You know what I mean? Um, but as far as AJ being popular in these other places, man, I'd like to see that. As far as the logistics and statistics, okay. Joshua says, I'm sorry, AD says Joshua is much bigger than Canelo all around the world, apart from South and North America. How comes, AD? How comes the man doesn't make as nearly as much as Canoli? Canoli, he got what do you call it? He got like 50 million to fight Triple G. You know what I'm saying? The man Anthony Joshua, and mind you, Canoli's not fighting in front of 90,000 people like Anthony Joshua is. So I'm not buying that, AD. No, no, that's what I'm not gonna do. That's what I'm not gonna do. Popularity, if that was the case, he would be making more money than Canoli. You know what I mean? Look at this massive deal Canoli signed that Oscar De La Hoya says is the biggest deal in sports history. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Bigger than what them baseball players be getting. You know what I mean? Or basketball players. So um, Joshua ain't much bigger than Canoli. That's a farce and that's false. I'm not buying that. No. AD says Loma has been on Sky Sports a number of times recently, and his contract is up in 6 months. Also, Loma has same management as Usyk, his best friend. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, to be honest, I'm not too sure. I do know they're from the same country. I don't know if Igor Klimas is a manager of Alexander Usyk. If he is, go ahead and write he is in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of fighters in the United States have fought on Sky Sports. Andre Ward versus Kovalev was on Sky Sports with Paulie Malignaggi over there. You know what I'm saying? Doing the commentary. That doesn't mean that either Andre Ward or Kovalev are signed to, Matchroom or would have been signed to DAZN. I mean, Sky Sports does show United States fights, just like Box Nation does. What fights coming up in the United States? Box Nation going to be showing Ryoto Murata. Okay, Ryoto Murata, the guy from Japan, WBA regular champion at 160. I think he fights this weekend, and Box Nation will be showing it. Does that mean that the man Ryoto Murata, who is signed, I think it's co-promoted by Bob Arum's Top Rank, hence the reason why he's going to be on ESPN. I don't think them fellas ain't got a deal with Box Nation. You know what I'm saying? So the UK does show fights that happen in the States. Now, if Lomachenko's contract is up in 6 months, well, we'll see. We'll see what he does after 6 months. I didn't even know that's the case. And if you have proof of that, go ahead, throw a link in the comment section, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't aware of that. But I can almost guarantee that the man Lomachenko will sign back with Bob Arum, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel, you know what I mean? What's his name? Terrence Crawford, he re-upped with Top Rank and Bob Arum. And I believe that the man Lomachenko will do too. But we'll see in 6 months if your claim is correct that his contract is up in 6 months. Spartacus the Great says, did Canoli make way more money than Joshua in his last fight. Way more, no fucking doubt about it. 50 million compared to the man's 20 million. Maybe he got less. Anthony Joshua. That's a good $30 million difference, and especially for a man in Canoli who's fighting in front of how many people? I don't know. The MGM I know holds like 16,000 people. How much does T-Mobile? Let's say 20,000 people max. 20,000 people compared to the man Joshua fighting in front of 90 million people, and he's making $30 million more. You know what I mean? So no doubt about it, Spartacus. Mike D, what's good, son? How you feeling, man? Juan Alvarez says possible championship fights for Canelo on Dazn. Jacobs, Andrade, and Callum Smith, assuming Jacobs and Andrade win the titles. Yeah, those are good fights right there. You know what I mean? Those are good fights. I'd like to see Canoli in. You know what I'm saying? And I mentioned that before on this live stream at the top of the live stream. I said, those are possible fights over there. You know what I mean? You know, hopefully that Canoli can make these fights happen. You know what I'm saying? That's actually undisputed right there. You know what I mean? Jacobs versus Andrade. Let's say Andrade does get through the Namibian actually this weekend. The Namibian guy who with the vicious KO record, undefeated. Excuse me. Um, I'd like to see, and if Danny Jacobs gets through Devrichenko, then possibly they can fight each other, Andrade and Jacobs, and then the winner fights Canoli for undisputed at 160. Mike D says Canelo making big moves. Yeah, this is a massive move, man. No question about it. AD says he has beaten Ukraine champions Klitschko, Russian Olympic gold medalist Alexander Povetkin, New Zealand champion Parker, and his fight shown in over 170 countries, more than any other fighter by far. Yeah, but the thing is, he still ain't making 50 million, man. He had an opportunity when he asked for it, and Wilder and them was ready to give it to him. You know what I'm saying? So he might be fighting in all these countries, but at the end of the day, does that popularity guarantee that he's making that guap like a man like Canoli is, who's fighting in front of less people as far as live gate? You know what I mean? But he's you see this guy AJ is fighting getting like a million views, almost same as Canoli. You know what I'm saying? You check it, but Canoli's making more money. You know what I mean? AD says, LOL, they don't know why they're in New York. Fury more. Come on, man. AD, get the fuck up out of here now, dogs. I'm gonna have to block you. I ain't never blocked nobody except one person who came on some racist shit, saying N-words and all kind of disgusting shit over here. But AD, how you figure they don't know Wilder in New York when the man has fought a lot of fights at the Barclays Center? The man's a big draw. The man is the biggest draw as far as Showtime boxing. He brings in the most views. Most of his fights be out there in the Barclays Center. So how you figure nobody knows him? You talking out your backside, boy. Well, go on. What's wrong with you, man? Fuck's the matter with you? All right. Mike D says AJ will be straight. He breaking necks and cashing checks. Not like Canoli, and I'm not saying he's not, but not like Canoli. That's what we're not gonna do. You ain't gonna come tell me that AJ is more popular than Canelo. No. Juan Alvarez. Anthony Joshua himself said that Canoli's the biggest star, though. Thank you, Juan Alvarez. Tell these guys, man. These guys, they come in here, they trying to big up these Ukrainian dudes. I see what y'all trying to do, man. You trying to big up these people who you know what I'm saying? No, that's what we're not going to do. AD says Wilder couldn't even have an open press conference in UK. He would have got abused hard. So what does that mean? Is this about Wilder? You see, you guys are the ones who make Wilder popular. You talk about him every day. This video's about Canelo, man. You just like all them hater channels, AD, who talk about Wilder every day. Wilder be on their mind every day. I don't even make videos like that about Wilder or AJ. And I like Wilder. Wilder's my guy. I'm a fan of the Bomb Squad. JD, what's up, JD? He says the fact AJ TV rights are bought by nearly 200 wide worldwide territories proves AJ's popularity. How many territory buys? Okay, you see, anybody talking about AJ and Wilder over here, I'm not gonna read your comment. That's what I'm not gonna do. Alright? Because this video is about Canelo. Y'all fellas here trying to make who's more popular between Wilder and AJ. Come on, dogs. Mike D says Canelo is the number one cash cow. You fellas are trying to throw somebody off course, man. Um, AD says Joshua don't not reading that. JD says Mike D says JD. Spartacus says JD Africa and other 200 worldwide countries buy because it's so cheap. Spartacus the Great says Joshua got no personality. He too robotic, LOL, in the ring and speaking. Well, man, we should. All right. JD. So this joint now turned into a Wilder thing, boy. That's who the most popular fighter is right now. Might be behind Canoli. At least on Showtime is Wilder. Cause man, we done switched course from talking about Canelo to Wilder. You know what I mean? Sweepy Fat 12, what's good, son? He says, what up, B Marsh? What's happening, big man? Uh yeah, I'm not about to get into all this AJ stuff and Wilder, cause this video ain't even about that, you know what I mean? I will read this comment though, cause that's what I had said earlier. I said, what's the comment? JD, where's the proof Canelo made 50 million from his last fight? Even if Golden Boy cleared 50 million, it doesn't mean that's what Canelo earned. Canelo got paid, man. Go look it up, man. I made a video about it, and the links is in the video. You know what I'm saying? The man Triple G made like 30 to 40 million dollars. You know what I mean? They're not gonna disclose or hide the figures of what the man made. These things are public record. You know what I mean? You check it. The Nevada State Athletic Commission showed that the man was guaranteed $5 million, or is it 10 million? I think 10 million, and the man Triple G 5, and everything else after that was pay-per-view. You know, pay-per-view, you do get revenue off of that. You know what I'm saying? And live gate, you know what I'm saying? And merchandise and all these type of things, you know what I mean? That fella's Canelo cleared 50 million. Wow. Um Let me see what fella's saying. Sweet Pea fan says Canelo wasn't interested in facing Andrade at 154 in both positions as mandatory challenges. Facts. And later as champion after winning a belt from Liam Smith. B. Marsh, do you think Canelo will face him now though? Now with Canelo, it's I can't tell. I can't tell you. I really don't know if he's gonna face him. You know what I mean? Maybe if the man is a champion with a with the WBO strap, there's a possibility. We don't know how good Andrade is at middleweight, let alone he's fighting a guy we've never heard of, a guy from Namibia, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he's had only one fight at middleweight with Atlantis Fox, you know what I mean? So, you know, he might be suspect at middleweight, truth be told, you know what I mean? We don't know. We really don't know what Andrade brings to the table at middleweight. You know what I mean? That's why this fight with Billy Joe Saunders was so intriguing. You know, a guy who's well established in Billy Joe at 160 compared to basically a novice at 160 whose only win is Atlantis Fox, you know what I'm saying? And he ain't looked too spectacular in that fight. So there's a possibility Canelo could fight him if and only that, then, you know, the man Andrade is showing slippage and it isn't looking good at middleweight, you know what I mean? Spartacus the Great says, why Canelo went to the zone? Start with Billy Joe Saunders getting framed and set up. Mike D says easily he has dates. Mike D says the zone got the money and the dates and the venue. And they got the dates. Yeah, they're going to have dates. They ain't competing with no TV channels, right? They're not gonna be competing with no TV channels like for instance, let's say on a Saturday night, ESPN. ESPN. There's college football on Saturday, so they gotta work around those dates. You know what I mean? So they gonna have dates, no question about it. You know what I'm saying? Sweet Pea Fan says, yes, you did. You made a video addressing Canelo revenue from the rematch. Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a staggering $50 million, you know what I mean? And fellas coming here telling me about AJ's more popular. If AJ's more popular, if he came to the United States, he'd even be more popular. But he ain't gonna do that, not no time soon. If he do, he's gonna come over here and fight a bomb. Go look at Lennox Lewis record. Well, let me close my window, man. Go look at Lennox Lewis record and go see how many people he fought in the United States, even before he was a champion. You know what I'm saying? Go look at all the fighters he fought in the United States. You know what I mean? Good fighters too, man. David Tua, Ray Mercer. You know what I'm saying? Fighting Holyfield twice and Mike Tyson. He came to the United States and beat two of the best heavyweights in the 90s. He beat him in their backyard. You know what I'm saying? For him to claim the title as the best heavyweight of the 90s, you know what I mean? So you got to give Lennox Lewis props. JD says, of the 50 million that Canoli supposedly earned and the 40 mil GGG earned, how much did Golden Boy and K2 make from that? You know what? I'm not an advisor. I'm not an accountant. You should actually tweet Tom Loeffler, tweet Oscar De La Hoya, and you could ask him that question personally. I'm just giving you the facts of what was in the Forbes, what do you call it? Forbes, and all these other articles that showed, and the UK Mirror, you know what I'm saying? And the Daily UK, them kind of newspapers over there who had the figures on how much these guys were making. And these ain't even United States publications for the most part. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna fabricate and say the man Canoli made 50 million so they could why would they fabricate? You know what I'm saying? They telling the truth. If they were gonna fabricate, they would have said he made less than they star AJ. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, you know what I mean? Fellas try to flip this whole shit into Canoli, a fucking Wilder and Anthony Joshua thing. That shows how much fellas be on demand Deontay Wilder's nutsack. Real talk, you know what I mean? Which is all good, which is all well and fine. So y'all fellas gonna watch him on December 1st. I know I will. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down, man. Look at all the people who hate on the man Deontay Wilder. Go look at how many videos they make on him daily. Look how I fucks with the man Deontay Wilder, man, and I only talk about him when I feel it's relevant. I don't gotta make videos, or Anthony Joshua for that matter. If I think Anthony Joshua is ducking Deontay Wilder, I've said my piece on it. I'm not gonna harp on it every day. I'm not gonna call the man no names like a pussy, a coward, a slave, or a fucking. I don't gotta do all that, you know what I'm saying? Because 99.9% of these people be talking greasy about these fighters will never say that shit to these fellas' face, you know what I mean? Straight up, you know what I mean? That's real talk. You check it, so that's what it is. JD says, we know Eddie Hearn earns 20% of AJ shows on public record. Yeah, that's good for Eddie Hearn, you know what I'm saying? We talking about Canoli. Does De La Hoya or Tom Loeffler, do they take 20% off their clients' purse? You talking about Eddie Hearn and AJ. What the fuck does that have to do with this Canoli video? You know what I mean? Fellas be going off topic, man, and I'm out of here. B Marsh Boxer, big ups to everybody. Big ups to JD, Sweet Pea Fan, Mike D, the so-called black, Spartacus the Great. Big ups to even big ups to AD, man. Big ups to AD too, man. You know what I'm saying? Stretch Armstrong. That's what I'm gonna call you. Keep on reaching, big man. Keep on reaching. Big ups to EJ Boxing Live. Big ups to Anthony Purvis. Thanks for everybody coming through, participating. Canoli's making that guap. And good for him, man. Now we'll see what kind of fights they're gonna make for these guys. You know what I mean? See somebody else in the chat says Javante. His name is Javante the Mumble Boxer Davis. G I guess he's trying to be funny. JD, just saying it would be interesting to know how much K2 and Golden Boy earn off their clients. Yeah, well, if you can do the research, if you can, go ahead, do the research and shoot me a link, man. You see, you're on my channel. You could go ahead, just shoot a link in the comment section. Matter of fact, when this video gets uploaded, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. But at the end of the day, the guy ain't making more than AJ ain't making more than Cannoli. But if you can find out that info, don't hesitate, man. Throw them links up in the comment section. You heard? Be Marsh Boxing. Thanks for everybody coming through, and I'm out of here. Peace.